Come to TurboTax. And don't do your taxes. Meet with an expert who will do them for you. So you can do not taxes. Intuit TurboTax, 100% expert guarantee.
All right, to be honest, I wasn't planning on making a TurboTax commercial or fake TurboTax commercial, but I was thinking about the original video that I had planned, and that video just didn't really make sense. Then I remembered this TurboTax commercial that I saw during football season and thought, hey, that could work. These types of commercials are my favorite because they're really simple and get the point across. And since it's so simple, it can easily be replicated, which is another reason why I decided to go in this direction. The real TurboTax commercials that you'll see on TV or on YouTube have a more happier and wholesome vibe. I decided to go with a more sad and depressing vibe because that's just how it all worked out. All right, enough talking about that. Let's get to the breakdown. So the first shot is this simple panning shot of the dinner table filled with trash. First thing I did was dress the table. I've been collecting trash all week in preparation for this shoot. Just kind of like whatever I thought would look good, I would set aside in this tiny little box. And not to brag, but I was an art coordinator for a Netflix show. So this is some real set dressing, professional set dressing work that you're seeing here in this YouTube video. Ding. Next, I clipped these two black poster boards onto my kitchen light to shape the light to how I wanted it. With limited space and gear, I wasn't able to rig like a top-down light setup, so my best solution was to just shape the light. Lighting-wise, that's pretty much all I did for this shot. Then I went to my camera and just set the aperture to 2.8, and that gave me the exposure that I wanted. To get a smooth pan, I used a rubber band, which broke before I could even use it. So I just wrapped it around the tripod handle and then pulled on the broken ends, and it gave me a pretty smooth shot. It's a very simple but effective trick if you want to get a smooth panning shot. For the trash can shot, I left the lighting as is. I just had to add more trash to make it seem like it was kind of overflowing. And again, I want to stress this, I have been collecting trash all week for this setup, and I'm not just, you know, a normally like messy person. I'm very, very clean and organized. I tried a few variations of this shot just to kind of see what I can get. I like these wide shots, but they reveal a little too much of the apartment. You can clearly see that the place is not as messy and ruins the illusion that we're trying to create. So I ended up using the close-up, but it's always good to get variations and different takes of a single shot to give yourself options in post. If I was to reshoot, I would definitely add a light to the shot instead of just, you know, relying on the practical. But aside from that, I'm pretty happy with the shot. This last shot was the most difficult because I had to be in the shot. So I would press record, go sit in the spot, and then come back and review the footage to see, you know, what adjustment needed to be made to the composition. I did this a few times until I was happy with the composition, and then to set my focus, I used this mic stand as my stand-in. I put bright tape on the end of the stand so that you can see it on camera and makes, you know, setting focus a lot easier. Once I set my focus, I just left the camera where it was. For my key light, I used this LED light panel set to 3200 to mimic the warm kitchen light. And for the TV, I use another light panel set to the TV flicker effect. One thing I love about these LED light panels is that they come with built-in effects like a TV flicker. You know, they're not the most realistic, but they get the job done. Right now, the shot looks pretty good, but the background is still a little bit dark and dull. So I took another light into my bedroom to try to get a streak of light into the hallway. The light is 5600, so it'd be a lot cooler compared to the 3200. This is supposed to kind of like mimic moonlight, or maybe there's like a street lamp outside that's shining through my bedroom window. Since the light is so bright, I added 2 layers of diffusion and bounced the light off my ceiling just to get it to the exposure that I wanted. That whole process took a lot longer than I wanted to, but eventually I got it to how I wanted it. So again, I added a key light to mimic the kitchen light, and then I added a TV light to mimic the TV and act as like a fill light. And then I added this light in the hallway to just kind of bring out the background a little bit. And here is the final shot. For the close-up, I left the lighting as is and just moved the camera a little bit closer. I did 2 takes because this first take, there was this like giant black void right next to my face. And then on the second take, I just moved the camera over a little bit and I was happy with the composition. So this commercial wouldn't work without the voiceover. So good thing I have a great friend who is also a voice actor with an amazing voice. I sent him the script in an actual TurboTax commercial so that he understood the vibe that I was going for. And literally 15 minutes later, he sends me an audio file with the perfect voiceover. Put all that together into one little 30-second video and you get this.
Come to TurboTax and don't do your taxes. Meet with an expert who will do them for you. So you can do not taxes. Intuit TurboTax, 100% expert guarantee.
So I forgot to film this part when I was filming my talking head portion, but if you want to watch the actual commercial that I was trying to mimic, I'll leave the link in the description below. So